Pablo Escobar's hippos might cause the apocalypse. What the hell is going on? This is a genuine question. What am I about to get myself into? I feel like the winds of change are whirling around me right here. Because I have no idea. I have zero context for what is about to go on here. Other than Pablo Escobar probably accidentally fed cocaine to a bunch of hippos. I don't know. A pattern of bad decisions. Oh, you think? This is going to be more than a pattern of bad decisions. This is going to be a litany of errors, is what I'm going to get from this. It's more than just a pattern. It's just dominoes falling, and because someone keeps pushing each domino. Like, this isn't just the dominoes are connecting. They could have stopped, but someone's pushing each one to make sure each one hits each other. I don't know how to better phrase that in a form of metaphor, but, yeah. Anyway, we're going to get into this and see what the fat electrician has for us. Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
So I did a video last week over on my main channel, Band of Beavers, when America airdropped beavers into the woods
I
to
remember
save the
this.
environment, and I was like, wow, that was a pretty funny video.
Funny enough, countries have done this before. They've done this with wolves now. Yeah, they just kind of airdrop creatures. It's kind of interesting in a funny way, but yeah.
I wonder if there's any other funny conservation stories. So I looked into it, and yeah, yeah, there are.
Okay, here we go.
Today we're talking about Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos that are currently messing up the ecosystem in Colombia, threatening the entire Amazon rainforest, and that Colombia also can't get rid of because some court in the United States granted cocaine hippos personhood, which is potentially groundbreaking legal precedent.
What? See, I expected it to be silly stuff from Pablo Escobar. Silly stuff from maybe some government actions. I didn't expect the hippos to be granted personhood and then be like, I just don't know how to describe this. How else do I describe this? That thing he just said, a pattern of bad decisions. I guess. What the hell do I... Okay, let's head into this.
Yeah.
Nicholas, did you get a beer vending machine?
Maybe.
Why?
For the home gym downstairs.
That
What
doesn't...
home gym?
What?
Randall Fitness sponsored the video and gave us a home gym.
Wait, what?
We have a gym membership.
Well, first of all, I want to be able to lift weights the way the Lord intended.
What? Lift weights to... Good Lord, man. I'm pretty sure that's not the way the Lord intended.
That's disgusting. You should wear clothes.
Yeah.
Home gym's already ruined. Anyways, Crandall Fitness, small business based out of Texas. They have a couple of employees. It's ran by a husband and a wife that were mad during the pandemic that they couldn't go to the gym and they couldn't really afford any nice gym equipment. So they decided to design and have their own made so that normal people can afford fancy home gyms and not have to worry about
sounds pretty nice.
Closed. The equipment's high quality. I don't know, it's heavy. I pick it up, I put it down. It hasn't broken yet. What else more could you possibly want? Anyways, I'm gonna have a link and a discount code down below. Go check out Crandall Fitness. Let's get back to the video. All right, from the top, Pablo Escobar. He's the #1 drug kingpin of the 1980s, if not of all time. Under his reign, I guess you would call it, his cartel was responsible for about 80% of the cocaine globally.
Oh, yeah.
And they were making about $22 billion a year, of which Pablo Escobar was profiting $60 million a day to himself. Pablo Escobar was making so much money selling nose beer that he was actually listed as the 7th wealthiest man on the planet.
Which is insane.
Like a decade. And it's hard to comprehend how much money that actually is, but to give you an idea, according to Pablo Escobar's son, when he was a little kid, they were camping one night and they didn't have any firewood, so Pablo Escobar burnt $2 million in cash so that they could make some s'mores.
Which is insane!
So how can I have some more of nothing? You're killing me, Smalls.
Which is insane to think about. Just burning that money like it's nothing. I could not even comprehend that kind of thing. Like...
Okay, this man was spending $2,500 a month on rubber bands to hold all of his $100 bills together. That's how much money this guy was personally making. This guy made so much money selling nose torque that he didn't even have anything to buy anymore, so he just started spending all of his money on whatever he could get his hands on. By the time he was done, he owned 141 houses, 142 planes,
Good Lord.
20 helicopters, and 32 yachts. And at some point along this spending extravaganza, he's like, I guess I'm just going to start collecting rare, wild, exotic animals because there's literally nothing else I can spend my money on. He had a rhino, he had an elephant, he had a giraffe, he had a bunch of exotic birds, and one of the things that he smuggled in was 4 baby hippos, 1 male and 3 females. And
that I can see where this is going to go bad. But, on that line, there was a drug dealer that owned like a bear, a lion, and a tiger that were basically captured when they were babies. So they more or less just kind of grew up together, and they eventually moved to the zoo, but they got super sad when they were apart, so they just stayed together. Eventually, one of them did die, and the other 2 got sad, so they put it like, I think it was the lion, so they put like a stuffed lion to represent him in there. And then eventually another one did, but yeah. It's kind of sweet and also sad in that they're with each other till the start and they wanted to be with each other till the very end.
Those hippos grew and matured. Pablo Escobar may or he may not have fed people to them based on their ethnic background, or at least that's what the Netflix TV shows led me to believe.
Hipopótamos esos. No, hipopótamos tampoco les gustan los mexicanos.
Either way, fast forward to
like
1993,
Mexican. Wow.
Escobar's compound.
Huh. Interesting. There is a Netflix documentary. It does take some liberties, from what I know. Mostly, like, the character that is around is not an actual person. Stop being... Yeah, well, Texas has too much. The reason Texas has too much is more for their protection. Because, you know, they're being hunted in Africa is the main problem. So they're brought over here with some place with a similar climate so that they can basically be kept away from poachers.
Gets raided, it all gets turned over to the Colombian government, and they have to figure out what to do with this entire zoo that this man has living in his private compound, and pretty much all of the animals get turned over to either zoos or sanctuaries.
Makes
all
sense.
of them except for the 4 hippos, and I can hear the comment section already. Buh, that doesn't make any sense, because if you can transport an elephant, why can't you transport a hippo?
Hippos are a lot more
look,
aggressive.
I understand your logic going into this.
Hippos are a lot more aggressive. Like, incredibly so. They're extremely territorial, and they can tear apart gators if they want to. They are... The ancient Egyptians consider these creatures beings of chaos. I'm pretty sure Texas has most tigers in general, honestly,
That's
probably.
a big-ass animal. That's a big-ass animal. If you can move one, why can't you move the other? Simply put, it's because elephants and other large animals
They're
can be
more
reasoned
docile.
with. You know what I mean? You can roll up on an elephant and be like, hey, chief, proposal, how about I give you some peanuts and you get your big ass on the truck? And they're going to be like, okay, I'll walk my big goofy ass ears up on the truck for you. You can't reason with a hippo. All
No,
right?
you can't.
Hippos are territorial assholes that will kill you for no other reason than the fact that you got a little bit too close for their liking. They are the deadliest animal on the planet.
Yeah.
Responsible for killing over 500 people per year.
Yeah.
Buh! But I still think they're kind of cute. Buh. Okay, first of all, no, it's not. Objectively speaking, it looks like Voldemort fucked a grizzly bear. Okay. Secondly, there's no.
I mean, people will think baby hippos are cute, but yeah. I need to move a 30-ton werewolf, or 3-ton werewolf. Yeah. Or Wolverine, pretty much. Yeah.
Cute about this animal. It's absolutely horrifying, okay? You're like, oh, it's chubby and it's cute. No, it's not chubby, okay? It is almost 4,000 pounds of straight muscle and bone.
Yeah.
Hippos are so dense, they can't float, okay? Are you picking up what I'm putting down right now?
Yeah.
Hippos can't swim. Most people are probably hearing this for the first time. No,
Yeah.
they sink to the bottom of the river.
Oh, yeah.
And then they run along the bottom of the
Yeah.
river, and then when they get out of breath, they jump up, get a breath, and sink back down again. Okay, and just so
Yep.
we're all on the same page, 4,000 pounds is bigger than most cars. Like a Toyota Corolla is like 3,000
Yeah.
pounds. This is literally a semi-aquatic muscle tank that's got 12 to 18-inch stalactites for teeth that maxes out at 19 miles an hour on foot.
It's
okay?
insane.
It's absolutely horrifying. This animal is so unstoppable. It has no natural predators. You can make an argument that when they're a baby hippo, they might get eaten up by alligators or lions, and that does happen once in a while. while. But even then, there's accounts of alligators letting baby hippos chew on them like chew toys when they're teething, because the alligators know at this point that if they hurt the baby hippos, all the full-grown hippos are going to dismantle them. Once hippos reach maturity, there's absolutely nothing that can kill them, okay? You can get on the internet and find videos of a pride of lions attacking a single full-grown
They just
hippo,
go slick.
like lions on the...
They just go slick. Like, their skin is so, like, slick that they just can't get a grip on them either. Like, it's insane. These creatures are absolutely insane.
The hippo's back, biting it, and the hippo's just walking towards the river completely unfazed because it's not even hurting him. The only thing that kind of regulates the hippo population in Africa is the dry season, because once the rivers and the ponds dry up, the hippos can't survive. Okay, do you understand what I've just told you? This animal is so fucking gangster. The only known predator
with a
it
big
has
gun.
is
Pretty
the
much.
dry season. Literally, the only thing capable of taking it out is Mother Nature with a natural phenomenon. Sorry, we're unhinged at this point, but my point is, you're not getting the hippos on the truck to move them if they don't want to be moved, and hippos don't want to be moved. They want to be left alone to do hippo things, and that's what's going to happen. So all these Colombian Special Forces guys that broke in and raided Escobar's compound are like, I guess we're leaving the hippos here. And then over the course of the next couple years, either somebody just let the hippos out, or the hippos broke out into a nearby river system, and they've been living there ever since. Okay, now fast forward 30 years from 1993 to 2003, they know of 170 of these hippos, and there could be more out there.
Oh my god, there's 170 of these fuckers now? Oh my, I didn't even know that there were some in the Amazon, quite literally.
So the hippo population
They're
in
an
Colombia is
invasive
growing
population.
exponentially, and it's estimated to reach 1,000 hippos by 2030 if we don't do something about it.
Okay,
and this is an environmental disaster, not just
Yeah.
because the hippos are dangerous to people, but because the hippos poop in the body of water that they reside in, and their poop is so toxic that it creates this algae, and these large cultures of
they are
algae
super
start floating
invasive.
around the top of the water, and this algae actually eats all the oxygen out of the water,
Oh
which
my
kills off all the
God.
fish, and not having fish kills off all the birds, and it's fucking up the entire ecosystem in Colombia. And
Yeah.
there's nothing to stop it or even kind of slow it down because there's no dry season in Colombia.
Yeah,
Which
no.
means that pretty much every hippo born in Colombia is living out its entire lifespan of roughly 50 years, and every female hippo
50
gives
years?
birth to roughly 7 other hippos. And
I
their
didn't even know they
population
lived
is gonna
that long.
continue to grow exponentially until some of them are forced to move into other areas of water, and if those hippos make their way into the Amazon rainforest, we're all fucked. Because the Amazon rainforest is one of, if not the biggest ecosystems on Earth that helps stabilize the climate of the entire planet, because it stores 200 billion tons of carbon, and if we mess up that ecosystem, it can
We're
have
screwed.
planetary-wide implications, and who knows what's going to happen. So clearly, we got to get rid of these hippos, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have to cull and kill off all the hippos. It's the only option. It's not fair. It sucks for the hippos, but that's just what has to happen, right? Apparently wrong. In 2009, one of the hippos was being extremely aggressive towards fishermen, and the army stepped in to kill this hippo before it started killing fishermen that were trying to feed their families.
Yeah.
And they posted a picture of this dead hippo that they had just killed named Pepe on the internet, and the planet had a fucking meltdown because the Colombian government was killing hippos. Now, obviously, when I say the entire planet, I'm being hyperbolic, and what I actually mean is a bunch of self-righteous, entitled pricks. I mean, animal rights activists from first world countries that don't actually know or understand anything about the environment or conservation as a whole, but they do know that it feels good to save animals in between sips of their Starbucks Frappuccino by bitching at people on Twitter.
This is the problem I have with, like, most vegans. Like, not all vegans, obviously, but a lot of them are extremely self-righteous and think that, oh, all animals can be saved. They're all the best. Animals kill each other all the time. Okay, this isn't even a slight. Animals kill each other all the time. This is why we have hunting seasons where we hunt them so that they don't overeat and overpopulate and basically kill themselves in such a way. This is important. It's an important thing to do. It's part of the ecosystem that we are also a part of. I heard it is delicious, apparently. Really?
So, because a bunch of people whose opinions shouldn't even matter in the first place are going to be upset if Colombia kills these hippos, for the past 15 years, they've been trying to find a different alternative besides killing them in order to get rid of all these hippos. First thing they did, they tried to capture some, put them to sleep, and then neuter them.
This is Bob Barker. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
That's not going to work.
Die already.
It didn't go that great. Like I said, it's 4,000 pounds of muscle. And if you didn't know, male hippos have internal genitalia, meaning that it's really hard to tell male from female. and it's also very hard to neuter them because you have to cut through 4,000 pounds of muscle to get to any of the
Yeah, that's
genitalia
not
in the
easy.
first place. And then the hippos didn't have great outcomes as far as surviving the surgery and being released back into the wild. So next thing we could try, we could tranquilize the hippos, and then while they're asleep, we could transport them to a zoo or a sanctuary of some kind, right?
Yeah.
That's a halfway decent idea if you don't think about it. I mean, what
Yeah.
happens when you tranquilize a hippo? Well, where are the hippos? First of all, they're in
the
water.
river.
What happens when you tranquilize something?
They
It falls
drown.
asleep. What happens if a hippo falls asleep in water?
It drowns.
Sinks because they don't float, and then they fucking drowned, and you can't get a 4,000 pound animal out of a river in time. So after like 10 years of trying alternative methods, 2020 rolls around and the Colombian government's just like, I mean, there's nothing else we can do. We're just going to have to cull and kill all these hippos. It's literally the only option without having planetary-wide implications. So naturally, a bunch of animal rights activist groups got together in the U.S. and they sued the Colombian government because they were going to kill
in the
hippos.
U.S.
Saul, how can I sue these people and institutions? I have no grounds. Do me a favor. Let me answer that question in person. Better call Saul.
During this court case, because the hippos have never set foot in the United States of America, they literally have nothing to do with the United States.
Yeah, they
in
can't be
any way
involved
whatsoever, and the United States legal system has no jurisdiction over it at all.
Yeah.
The federal judge in this court case had to declare the hippos interested persons.
Oh
so that
my
they could
God,
hear the
that's
court
so
case in the first place.
stupid.
But by doing that, this judge inadvertently basically admitted that hippos have personhood, which means that they have human rights. And with the way the U.S. court works, once one court decides something, it sets a precedent. And all
But they're not
future
in the
court
U.S., so why should the U.S. courts matter in this matter? They're in Colombia.
cases get to refer back to it all the time, which means hippos and potentially by extension the entire animal kingdom could now have human rights.
Anyone can be anything!
And let's be honest,
The
if
little
you've made
cat.
it this far into one of my YouTube videos, I know exactly where your brain just went. You're like, holy shit, this means the hippos have the Second Amendment, and the only thing scarier than a hippo is
It's
a hippo with
a
an
gun.
AR-15.
You don't need an AR.
An AI image of a hippo with an AR-15. Really?
Buy a shotgun.
Yes, Joe Biden, or hippos with shotguns. I don't care. Hippos with guns are terrifying. Now,
I
obviously,
wonder what
that's
that
ridiculous and silly. And
I
we're
wonder
just-
what this image is from. No, go back. Where is it?
that's ridiculous and silly.
Never mind. Well, that hippo with a blunderbuss
We're
for
just
some
joking
reason.
around. However, what you should actually be concerned about is the potential that next time you accidentally, like, hit a deer with your car, now your friendly neighborhood tree hugger environmentalist can take you to court and try to have charges pressed against you for vehicular manslaughter because
Which
you
is
didn't
bull.
just accidentally hit a deer, you killed a person with your car. Because now
Oh my God.
animals aren't animals, they're people, and people have human rights, and it completely upends our entire understanding of how the law functions today.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this is probably not going to end up happening. I read through a bunch of like actual lawyers and legal scholars.
Yeah,
analyzing this.
the PETA's been trying to pull this kind of thing for a while, and it's never gone through. Which, thankfully, because PETA's stupid and they actually kill more animals than a lot of people, they don't really understand how the environment works. They kind of just pretend like they care when they actually don't. If you look into the creator of PETA, she is actually incredibly weird and creepy. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, she believes euthanizing an animal is better for it than actually letting it live as a pet. Like, if you look into this lady, she is actually insane and seems to like killing animals. I am not even kidding. She is a creep. I always suggest to anyone, if you're a vegan, a vegetarian, for whatever reason, do not join PETA. Just live your life. Don't try to morally grandstand. Just live your life as what you want to. Just don't. Yeah.
And their conclusion is that it's kind of a bullshit technicality and it shouldn't ever set a precedent. However, shouldn't still implies that it kind of sort of might one day, which is horrifying. But U.S. law and precedent aside, it's affecting the Colombian cocaine hippo situation because it's putting a ton of political pressure on the Colombian government. Now, in order to fully appreciate what is going on here, you really got to put yourself in the Colombian politicians' shoes, right? On one hand, you've got an environmental disaster with potentially planet-altering implications that's being instigated by cocaine hippos from Pablo Escobar. And on the other hand, the United States, you know, the country whose military budget is literally twice the size of your nation's GDP, just came out of left field and they were like, oh, hey, by the way, The hippos in your country, no other hippos and no other animal in the planet
Yeah.
ever, for that matter, has ever been considered a human. But the cocaine hippos in your country, we consider them to be people now. And the Colombian government is like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, if we call
Yeah.
these hippos to save the world, are you guys going to consider that a genocide? Or, like, what's going to happen? You're going to put an embargo, quit doing business with us, wreck our entire economy over some hippos? What? And that's pretty much where we're at today. Nobody really knows what's going on. The Colombian government doesn't really know what to do because everybody's too busy arguing about the moral and ethical dilemma of killing off hippos/people, while the hippos are in the background pooping all over the rivers and the ponds, killing off all the fish and the birds, destroying the ecosystems of Colombia and potentially by extension in the future the entire Amazon rainforest. And nobody's doing anything about it. I
Dear
feel like I'm
God.
in an episode of Black Mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because maybe I'm simple, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm just a horrible person and I don't see the value in all animals' lives in relation to saving the entire planet. However, I feel like the options are pretty simple.
feel like
A,
save the
save
world.
the environment. B, give a fuck about the feelings of people that don't know what they're talking about because it will make them feel better if hippos don't die, even though they wouldn't know about it if they did. And somehow, the feelings of random people is winning while the clock is ticking down to an environmental catastrophe. Like, the entire thing has made me lose so much faith in humanity, it's unbelievable. Because I'm now absolutely certain that aliens could crash land on Earth. Like, aliens. Like, from
No.
the movie Alien, you know? Not intelligent life forms. Their sole purpose is to run around and kill anything that's alive. Those things
Yeah.
can crash land and
The
start
xenomorphs.
murdering everything. And I guarantee you there would be activist groups that were protesting to make it illegal to fight back against these aliens because they have a right to live too.
I do not call them aliens because alien is a derogatory term for anything.
That's so true.
Even extraterrestrials.
That's
Oh
where-
yeah, that's Demi Lovato. She was a star on Disney Channel for a while for like Camp Rock. She became a huge weirdo and apparently went on one of those ghost hunting shows, which apparently isn't ghost hunting, but it's for like aliens apparently. And apparently she's like saying, oh, they don't want to be called aliens. They want to be called extraterrestrials. And I'm like, I can't tell if the interviewer is actually listening or just saying, exactly, just to get through it, because she's insane. Like, she has actually gone off the deep end, like with Gwyneth Paltrow and all of them. Like, she's not connected to her, but she's basically gone off the same deep end.
people are at, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, my personal opinion, and this is going to show you how horrible of a person I am, I don't think the Colombian government should kill off all these hippos. I really don't, because that would cost the Colombian taxpayers money, and that's dumb. The Colombian government should issue tags and let a bunch of foreign, rich, wealthy hunters come in and kill hippos
Honestly,
for $100,000 a piece. They'll pay money to fix the problem for.
Honestly, this is similar to how the Australian government dealt with their emu problem of setting a bounty on these creatures, which that could work, honestly.
For you, and then you can take all the millions of dollars that would net Colombia and put it back into preserving and helping the environment, which has been damaged by these hippos. But we're never ever going to do that, because that would make sense, and making sense usually hurts
it's possible
people's
it could
feelings.
happen.
So I guess
Let's
this is
go,
just
honey, I
where
want
we're
some
at.
hippo
I'm sorry,
steak.
this
Oh
video
my
got
God.
way more angry and unhinged than I ever thought it would. So I guess in conclusion,
Understandable.
this is a story about how Pablo Escobar, the drug kingpin, smuggled in 4 baby hippos into Colombia, and now, generations later, all of the hippos are somehow considered people, and they're going to destroy the Amazon rainforest, and nobody's going to do anything about it because a bunch of self-righteous know-nothings think they're helping.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Best way to support the video is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang. Out. I need a fucking beer.
Yeah, I'm a little angry too now. I wish I had a home gym. I'm pretty sure you didn't just do 1,000, my man.
I thought you said we couldn't lift naked anymore.
It's so much better this way.
I turned away from that because she was, unlike him, completely naked, which, yeah, what the hell? That was a hell of a thing to do. Anyway. Yeah, we need to get rid of the hippos. But that's neither here nor there for me. So yeah. They weren't. They were just wearing brown clothing. Oh, YouTube might say something. So you're correct. Okay, well, they were just wearing brown clothing. That helps out a lot. Okay, that's better. Anyway, on that note, if you guys want me to watch more of the Fly Electrician and what he does, come over to my chats, come over to my Discord, and if you want, check out me out over on Twitch. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. I don't know what to think about all that, but dear God, those hippos need to go. Anyway, thank you all so much. Later.